7,
Hey,
12,
Who?
18,
Okay.
24, 58, and the bonus ball is Q.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. I managed to pick none of them. So there we go. A big hello to you. It's great to see you, and I hope I find you well. We've got a special guest here tonight with Peter Jackson, Cheadle Heath.
Hello, you two.
So you may recognise him, fixture of so many exhibitions. I keep running into you. Every time I go to an exhibition, you're there.
Well, yeah.
So, I mean...
Somebody like yeah.
Oh, so we got a brilliant Monday Club live stream. Absolutely epic, says Ryan Tune 12244.
Hello, I'm Shackleton.
Member for 11 months. Thank you so much for your support.
Hello, Les.
So we've also got Rick Morley,
Morley,
Rocky Top Rail Productions, Ham Shackleton, Ben Tullett, Richard Swiderski, Mr. Powell, JTG Werewolf, Joshua W5621, Awesome Bricks, Flammacher Warner, Harry Sedgwick, Stephen Svensson, Ben Davis, Dave the Trains, Leslie Gilpin Railways, Warbler Productions, Jordan Hunter 98, Silver Moose 2812, Rick Morley, Chris Johnson, Robert Becking, Caroline Rogers, Hillside Junction Railway, the Growl of Blackwood Engage.
Do you want to try and vomit that again?
The London Cheesehead. Oh, we had some wonderful cheese the other day, didn't we?
Oh my goodness, yeah, I've had some vivid dreams.
Yes, very, very nice cheese. But yes, we've got Peter Jackson, Cheadle Heath here as the special Monday Club check-in guest. We've got him here in person. So we tempted him in. We went, come and get your blue bag.
Come and get your candy.
And the biscuits as well.
He
Yes.
did bring an offering for Gandalf, and I'm sure... Yes, Gandalf.
Gandalf approves.
Yeah, so... Millionaires shortbread. So sorry, Gandalf.
I'll take that.
No, Gandalf, I'm sorry, you don't qualify. You're not a millionaire. You spent all your money on biscuits.
I think you'll
find them in my office.
Iron Horse Railway says, hello, Peter Jackson. Welcome
Hello,
to the
yeah,
Loft
great.
of Dreams.
Yeah.
Danelaw Model Railways, Dion Wollaston, we've got Ravenheart Modelling, and Andy Fryer's Junction. So plenty of people in. Mike Lane TT120, I see your name there as well. So really great to see you. What have we got for you tonight? Well, actually, not much. There's not really a lot of news going on at the moment. It's gone quite quiet.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're waiting for something.
Waiting, watching,
Keyboard
judging,
Yes.
licking.
There's a big show coming up. I wonder, are they holding off so that they can do fun and games at this big show?
Shenanigans. I don't know. To be honest, no, Key Model World Live is in 3 weeks, and it's always a good show. Actually, I think is this the third or fourth year that they've done it.
It's not the second, I know that.
Oh, no.
I think it is the third one.
I think it's the third year, and it's always great. And one of the things that I really like about Key Model World is the military modelers.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this actually just before we came on. That I think as railway modellers, you can become very insulated within that railway modelling bubble. Yeah. But actually, what the military modellers are doing is it's very inspirational. Looking at the different techniques that they use. Quite often.
The weathering and the water features and things
absolutely.
like that.
And they do different ways to achieve these effects than what railway modellers might traditionally do.
Yeah.
And actually it's great inspiration. So that's what I really like about Key Model World Live is it exposes the different disciplines of modelling to each other. It's not like the old school discos back in the day where all the boys down one side, all the girls down the other.
and then that one kid that everyone hated in the middle dancing their life out.
Yeah, we remember you, Richard Bayliss. We remember you. Actually, no, he was quite popular, but he couldn't dance for toffee. But yeah, anyway, meanwhile, back at the ranch, shall we roll VT?
Let's roll VT.
Oh, hold on.
Welcome to the Monday Club, your online model rail club for all the news, gossip, layout tours and more with your host, broadcaster and model maker, Jennifer Kirk.
So we are back.
Back once again like the Renegade Master, T4 trains and the good behaviour.
But no, we were talking actually before the intro. We've got our special guest, Peter Jackson, Cheadle Heath, here in the loft. And I was just saying,
I'm not
actually,
actually called Cheadle Heath, I'm just named Peter Jackson.
I
used to work in you, but anyway. Yeah.
I'm so used to referring to you that on the screen.
Yeah, I understand that.
It's like really hard to just.
It's okay.
It's like when I meet Flymo Chairman 1, I have to remember that he does have a name.
Yes, it's Flymo Channel 1. We do have some news.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just before we went live, the crew of the Artemis became the people who have been the furthest away from Earth ever. No one else has been, in recorded history, has been further from Earth than the Artemis crew.
Yeah, because they've orbited the moon, but they've done it at a higher altitude than the Apollo crews did.
Yep.
Which is how they've done it on a technicality. So Zoe is technically right, and as we all know, technically right is the best kind of right there
They
is.
attempted a handbrake turn and did a Tokyo drift around the moon.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're living... This is history, people. History, people. We live in an amazing time.
50 years since the last moon visit. So
Yeah, was it Apollo 17?
17.
Yeah.
And was it somebody Shepard, or am I thinking of a different mission?
I think you're right, yes.
I just, for some
Alan
reason...
Shepard. Was that Alan Shepard?
Alan Shepard, that rings a bell.
Yes.
So I'm sure that the internet will know. So the chat will tell us.
Hanks is a...
Yes, Ravenheart modelling, the furthest people away from Donald Trump. Yes.
Tom Hanks went to further orbit. There you go.
You know what's the weirdest thing?
Can I just say, technically, if Tom Hanks really had been on Apollo 13, no, he didn't.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been further away. Here's the other thing.
Hi, DJ.
We've got, at the moment, people going around the moon, people living on a space station.
Yeah.
Why don't we have more model railways building what could have been for the planned moon base that was supposed to be established in the 70s? We could have model railway dioramas of trains going in airlock tubes between habitable zones on a moon.
Can I just say, this moon base is news to me. When
Did you not know about the planned moon base?
No, apparently it was top secret between you and
Well, it
and your
was top
imaginary
secret,
friend.
but it was declassified in the 90s.
Oh, right.
Space 1999. Moon
Yeah.
base Alpha and all
I still
that.
found that hilarious. They flew away on the moon, destroying the whole of Earth.
Something happened, it went away.
They
didn't
took
it?
the time.
A big hello to Sparky 107. Great
Oh,
to
good
see
to
you,
see you,
sir.
mate.
Yeah. How's things going?
How's that tech?
Ian Roberts says Harrison Schmidt. Sarah Davis says that was the Lego train in the 80s.
Yeah, I had the Lego train in here.
Valley's 56XX says I think it. I have to do this in I think a Dr. Evil way. They have lasers apparently. All I asked for was a freaking rotating chair. Throw me a bone here, people. RG Models 86 says 009 narrow gauge railway based on the moon. There's an idea.
Wait, I'm going to go and find where I've put my phone so I can make sure that our check-in guest for tonight is coming.
Yes, and bring the clangers with you as well, will you? Yeah, no, that's just Zoe doing a silly impression of the clangers. I'm sorry. The dad jokes are starting. Richard Gruter says apparently they're over the moon. And they've got to be careful. You've got to go at the right orbit to miss the cow that's jumping over the moon.
I wonder if Richard writes the Christmas jokes in the Christmas crackers.
I don't know, but he has very, very small handwriting on account of all those years of writing on lollipop sticks. But no, one of the things I always seem to bump into you at shows. You do a lot of shows.
I do go to a lot of shows, yes, indeed.
So would you say, what, every weekend?
Not every weekend. ones that are fairly local, the northwest. Glasgow, I tend to like. Loughborough is another one I like.
So were you at Glasgow this year?
Was it last week? Yeah. No, not
Last week, probably.
not this weekend. Not Easter weekend. The
I
weekend before.
I lose track. There's like this flurry of shows, and it's like every weekend there's a
Macclesfield this week, Candy.
So Andy Fryer's Junction is
doing
at
Macclesfield.
Macclesfield with Sawyer Models.
Yeah,
So don't forget, you can use your Monday Club badge. Are you going?
Oh yes, I'm going.
So you'll be able to
On the
use
Saturday,
the Monday Club discount with the new exclusive blue badge that he's got from coming
Was that
on.
as well?
Yeah, but they don't stack. Otherwise, when I come in with a big bag of them saying "Mummy's got her candy," otherwise they'd have to pay me to take stuff away, and that ain't gonna happen.
Covrails in Coventry. I don't know about that yet.
I'm
DJ.
going.
I'm not sure about that.
I am going to be at
I'll try.
Covrail.
I'll try.
I'm actually opening Covrail.
Right.
It's like basically, it's like so I can't be late. Yeah, basically the janitor didn't want to go, so he's giving me the keys. He's like, "Will you just open up and?"
Yeah.
And I'd be there going, "Come on, no, sorry, first time. I don't know which key does it."
Right. Yeah. But
So
Doncaster's another good favourite of mine.
one of my favourites.
Normanton and Pontefract, another race course.
Oh right, yeah. Well, York is a race. Yeah.
York's a race course. Yeah. Lovely food.
And actually, York just finished today. Always on the Easter bank holiday weekend. And my father and I always used to religiously do the York show. A particular favourite of mine, but for some reason not been since about 2006. But we were doing York, I think from the very late 80s, maybe 89. Oh, the clangers are in.
Is it Mark Wilson? Are the clangers still residents on the moon?
Yes, they are.
Perhaps Artemis will tell us. They might be on the dark side.
On the dark side of the moon, with a great gig in the sky.
Yeah.
Crew is at the end of the May. So Sarah Davis. So there's and
two at Crews, and the November one as well.
DJ K666 says I'll definitely be at Covrail as it's run by my club. Terry Rowe runs Thunderbolt Models. He does, yes, and of course Thunderbolt Models as well. Another one of the Monday Club badge participating retailers, and we always say support your local retailer. Now we've managed to box up the original moon landing astronauts. And
76 scale, so they will fit.
Yeah, I thought for a moment he was playing golf, and that would have made.
They did play golf.
They did play golf on the moon.
I know.
The ball flew away.
Yeah, it did. He basically hit the longest shot
Still going,
in history. Well, technically, if you hit it hard enough, it would just keep orbiting the moon.
Oh, right, so it'll never come back down.
Yeah, the same way that satellites do. Satellites are spinning around the Earth, and they're going at a speed where
it's falling with style.
The centripetal acceleration equals gravity, I believe, if I remember. Back in the
original master from Doctor Who thought the clangers were a real alien life.
He did, yes.
Oh, was that in? Was it the Sea Devils? It was a John Pertwee one.
The master. Yeah.
Yes, I remember that. So I'm going to change the angle of the dangle. The reason I'm telegraphing my moves here is because otherwise Zoe gets engrossed in a thing and doesn't turn the camera back on.
So what I've got here is very interesting.
Does that include the moon lander?
It includes a moon rover.
Ooh.
Oh, the rover.
That's still there, I think, isn't it?
I think it is. Now, was the moon rover an Apollo 17 thing or an Apollo 16 thing?
I think it was earlier.
It was an early one.
Yeah.
They
it was
didn't.
after, I think about 13.
It was after 13.
14.
I don't believe Apollo 13 took a moon rover with them. So 14, 15, 16 and 17, one of those.
Well, the thing about it is, if you park in this nearby, you can use it again.
Yeah, but the thing is,
if you land,
they left it far away.
Yeah,
it's
like,
video it.
and you do know that somebody got out of the moon rover and went, "Don't forget where we parked."
I would.
Well, ticket by now.
It would
Yeah. Technically, I suppose it would theoretically still work if you just went up there and recharged the batteries. But you'd have to actually land close by. And one of the things
Oh, there you
about each Apollo
15 had the first
15,
movie.
16 and 17.
Right.
Yeah, so Marcus Muggins says Apollo 15 was the first. DJ Sarah Hall says Moon Rover was in Apollo 15, 16 and 17. Ruben Ashwell, yes, you do see rubber duckies because Zoe is incorrigible. Robert Cesare says, no news, not even from Rapido. You say that like there's something I've missed. Rapido have shared some video footage of various pre-production models running. They, I believe they've shared some running footage of, I want to say the D40 and the Glen, which is the D34. But I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I know they have shared some footage, and they really do look good. They run really well. It's always a pleasure seeing the Rapido layout. Now, we were actually lucky enough, Zoe and I, to visit Rapido in Staplehurst, and we got to see the Rapido layout, and it's really nice, and it's air conditioned. We went there in the height of summer, very refreshing in that room.
Mark Wilson watched all the rocket launch and all the pre-tests and made the original launches in the 60s even more dangerous and impressive.
I can imagine, yeah. And the thing is, though, that the whole Apollo mission was done before the invention of health and safety. So, yes.
Money was no object.
So, just sharing some images and some suggestions for making up full trains. What's really nice, actually, and can I say, Rapido's post, they're actually recommending Bachmann wagons, the Parrot wagons. And that's what I like about Rapido. You know, they don't pretend like other manufacturers don't exist. And they're quite happy to recommend to their customers complementary models from other manufacturers, which is really good. But the Rec Tank wagons, we did talk about them. I don't know whether it's last week or the week before. They do look really good. So again, another one I'm looking forward to. Raymond Legg says, health and safety. We don't have that round here.
No.
Yeah, there's nobody holding the ladder. Living the dream. Yeah, I mean, I can remember. I remember the days before health and safety.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was dangerous.
Yeah.
You've got to be careful when typing on a phone. I was typing Hornby, missed out the B and almost went to the wrong website.
I bet you did. Yeah. But no, we were talking about shows, and
Yes, we were.
one of the big things that's been going on is to support your local retailers campaign. And I've seen a lot of people trying to poo-poo it like it's some kind of evil thing. How dare they? But actually, no, it's use it or lose it. And one of the things, I do want to address this. I've seen some snooty people going, oh, I don't have a model shop anywhere near me. It's like, yeah, but local model shops, when you support a local model shop, even mail order, you're supporting somebody's local model shop, and they are very much use it and lose it.
A small business that once they're gone, they're not coming back. And those people that say, oh, I don't have a local model shop near me, you probably did.
Yeah.
20 years ago, maybe 30 years ago, and people didn't support it.
There was about 3 or 4 in Bolton at one
There
point.
was a load in Manchester, wasn't there?
Yeah.
You know, even the centre BTs, Model Zone.
Yeah, I remember Model Zone and the Ian Allen place,
The shop on
the
Piccadilly.
Approach,
Yeah.
both of which used to go
There was
a long
3
way.
of those, wasn't there? Yeah.
And I think people think like, oh, mail order, all that means is you give your business to Rails or TMC. And yes, you can, because remember, they are somebody's local model shop.
And they're family-owned businesses.
Yes, both of them are.
But GM as well, models from Norwich as well, they can post out all over the country.
And that's what I was saying. It's like, you know, if you actually speak to a lot of these model shops, they'll do mail order. You can either do it through their website. I've ordered a lot of stuff through Hereford Model Centre, for example. No big bargains, says Mark Wilson somewhere. But no, it's true. You know, you can go there and you can just order it on. You don't actually have to talk to somebody. You can just go online and go, there we are. And you're supporting somebody's model shop.
Yeah.
I did read somewhere, I've seen conflicting figures how many model shops there are in the UK. Figures ranging from around 170 up to over 300.
According to the new revamped UK Model Shop's website, I think there's 243.
Oh, right. So
Either 342 or 243.
My goodness.
listed. They've got listed.
Yeah, I can well believe it.
Yeah, which is now up online now again. UK bottle shops, so you can get your lists again now.
But the problem is that once we lose a model shop, we don't tend to get it back.
Yeah.
And we've just recently seen
So many have gone. Yeah.
and quite often by retirement.
Yeah.
And they can't find anybody who wants to take it on. So
that was Walton's problem.
Not just
Walton's of Altrincham, I think he retired.
not just not wanting to take them on. They are Ravenheart modelling.
Yeah, Ravenheart Modelling says, I'm still doing my business plan for my model railway shop in North Wales. It's very low margins, hard to justify a business case.
Yeah.
And also, this is something that Gareth from Trains for You said last week, who we had on as a guest, that, you know, the stock in the shop is not on something like sale or return. Yeah. They have to buy that up front. So you're talking about a huge investment in stock. And I think about Arcadia models. You know, big up to Tim and everybody at the Arcadia posse. Yeah. And when you go in there, it really is an Aladdin's cave. And it is stacked floor to ceiling with models. But he's had to buy them in advance. So you're talking about a lot of investment in stock just before you even open the doors.
I did hear something about somebody pinched something from one of his upstairs.
Did it?
Recently.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I mean, that's just low stealing from anywhere, but certainly stealing from
a nice guy trying to make ends meet.
Yeah, and you know, margins are very tight for local model shops. I know when you talk to retailers who go to shows and they say, somebody stole a locomotive, and you think how much.
There was an incident at Glasgow as well.
Was there? Yeah. Did somebody get caught?
Yeah, got ejected.
I mean, to be honest, I'm quite hardline on this. I'd have said no, they should have called the police and had them prosecuted.
Yep.
Well,
I would have.
Because otherwise, they just treat it as an occupational hazard.
I think the shop in question got the bottle back out of the guy's bag, and security said no.
But you think how many times they've not been caught?
Well, you don't know, do you? But yeah.
Talk to nice people, got the mouthful.
I'm very much of a name and shame thing. You know, Pub Watch, where they all send out the pictures. We should have that for shops.
All the time,
yeah, we should have that for shops and we should have that for shows.
Yeah.
So these people don't get in and cause problems. Yeah. Because the margins are so small, and all those traders at those shows, they've had to pay to be there.
Absolutely.
So that's eating into their profit margin. I don't like it. I really don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so we have some news, Jen.
More news.
So TT120.
Oh yeah.
The new coal freight, I believe it was, which looked gorgeous.
37.
Yeah, part of me just thought I should probably get that. I should probably grab that myself and have it and cuddle it.
And love it and lick it.
But
and play Wipeout on its buttocks.
But this week we also got pushing out the Class 66, the Freightliner livery with Derek W. Johnson MBE is the name of it.
Is this in TT120?
In TT120, and I believe it's also in EWS as Lafarge Sharnwood, and it looks gorgeous. I'm going to show you a quick picture there. You can see it's not the best picture because I'm not using a phone, but the Class 66, it looks nice.
It's come a long way, TT, in the short time it's been around.
3 years old now.
Yeah, Marcus Muggins, I've come back to his comment. Sadly, shoplifting is rife nowadays. Yeah, and you hear all these things about police not being interested. Oh, they haven't stolen enough. And it's almost become like an organised business of stealing.
Oh, there is,
This goes back to something I saw last year. Yeah, you're not alone in the UK police being like this, where it's like, it's not.
Oh, is this happening in other countries?
Yeah. America as well. So you know what Target does now?
What?
It just takes the recordings and stores them until they've got a case built up. Like, right, you've now gone over the threshold for prosecution. Police have all of this information.
The thing is, though, I mean, private prosecutions as well are a thing.
Private prosecutions exist.
I think people forget this, that you can bring out a private prosecution yourself. It's potentially quite an expensive thing to do.
One of the oldest forms of the court service, actually, a private prosecution, was right the way back to Rome.
That Raymond Legg says, I tried shoplifting, but the building was too heavy. Lollipop
joke again.
But no. I mean, I think the comments gone off the top. The problem is that no. The problem is that margins are so tight that it does do a huge amount of damage to businesses. And, not just model shops, but any small shop, and even the big retailers as well. At the end of the day, you're stealing from somebody. When I say you, it's like the royal you.
But no, we're speaking specifically to the thieves here.
The livelihoods of some people,
and I do think that. Maybe shows and retailers have missed a trick by actually being able to ban individuals and say, actually, this is the person we caught stealing from us, and they're just become persona non grata in model shops, in shows, model rail clubs. And, maybe that's the best way of doing it. And, if you've got irrefutable proof that they stole something. Some people go, oh, you can't do that, rights of the criminals. But it's actually, if you can irrefutable prove they did it, it's like, well, they can't sue you for anything.
Well, somebody got it on the cameras, didn't they, in one of the shops, didn't they?
Yeah,
So
because there was that
that's all video evidence.
Well, did we ever hear what the...
We never heard the outcome.
Yeah. It would be interesting to know whether they tracked down that thief.
I can't remember what shop it was.
Somebody will say in the chat, but yeah. Richard Grutus has taken some time out from writing on lollipop sticks to send them off to walls to put them in ice creams to let us know that local police station had their toilets stolen and police have nothing to go on.
The old ones are the best.
Railway Rob suggests, was it Smith's? I'm not sure actually.
I don't think it was Smith's. It was in the Midlands somewhere, I seem to remember.
But I mean, there's like 200 plus model shops, and it does make me think. Actually, I mean, that would make the great basis for a tour and video session. Is actually going around and visiting them all.
Put your picture at all the model shops, wouldn't you? Send that picture to all the model shops.
Yeah.
This guy's a stopping right.
Yeah,
but
this guy's a tea leaf.
Yeah.
But the thing, people think that businesses are all like, I'm not going to work with you, and it's all cutthroat. But actually, a lot of businesses do get on very well with each other.
Yeah,
they all understand. The hobby is richer for us all being.
We happen to know this for a fact because when you're setting up at shows, you see them all having a chat.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hello, you're here again. They'll let anyone in. That kind of thing.
Little Britain says model locos are so expensive, it would probably make sense to serialise them. I think the only issue is where would you put the serial number, and what would stop people from removing it?
Change the bolt around.
And that again, you're talking about more cost, and with people complaining about the cost of models all the time, and they have done since I was little. I think people
part of the hobby, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like it's one of the areas of hobby. There are people whose hobby is complaining about the price. So, unfortunately, you add serial numbers. There then has to be a database connected to that, and an ability to go. Oh, actually,
and who's going to do all that?
And that's all another cost.
And that, you're absolutely right there. Who's going to do all that? I love the idea, but I can't spare the time.
To pay somebody to look at all the videos and all that. It's just,
Dave Holloway 87 says, I think you're thinking of Kerno at the Greatest Gathering had that DMU stolen. I know that Kerno did have something stolen at one of the shows because I remember us reporting on that. But there was a model shop that had somebody
come to the desk, wasn't it?
Yeah, they bought something, and then whilst the manager
went
went into the back room, I think to get something, they just stole something off the counter.
Yeah, they just grabbed it off the counter.
Yeah. Well, it's despicable, really. And somebody said there, Richard Knoll says it should be like Pub Watch, banned from one, banned from all.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good sentiment to take. At the end of the day, these people are just parasites on the hobby.
I mean, Sarah Davis, my local big Tesco, has started locking away their alcohol.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
Smiths. It was Smiths.
Oh, was it?
RG Model says Smiths Model Railways. Ben Davis says that was Smiths. Railway Rob says that was Smiths in Sheringham. Yes, Sheringham does ring a bell. At the end of the day, if you use a model shop mail order, you're supporting somebody's local model shop. So the idea that, oh, well, I don't have any model shops within easy distance of me, so I'll just go online and buy direct for cheap. It's like, well, you can support somebody's local model shop. And then, on the flip side of that, it's like, why should model shops be owed a living? And what you've got to remember is that it's like when we were talking to Gareth at Trains for You last week, and often the model shops are the advertising for brands. They're the
place where you go to see everything, to handle everything, to see it working, how it works, what you can do to it, all the bits and pieces.
At some point, everybody is new to the hobby, and people know the brand Hornby. Hornby is synonymous with model railways. You go out on the street, and if you did a Vox Populi and asked people, name model railway manufacturer, I tell you now, 95% of them plus would say, you said
train sets.
Setting off for the thing.
Right, okay. They'd say Hornby.
Train sets.
Once you get outside of the bubble, and you've got to remember, it's a bit like the Westminster bubble. Sometimes it's easy to think oh, this is such a big deal. And actually it isn't in the grand scheme of things, because outside of the little bubble that we're all in of model railways, actually, there's a lot of people might be into model railways, but they're not in the bubble.
They wouldn't know the names of the other companies, would they?
And actually model shops do a great job of being that introductory point for brands, but also being that one-stop shop where you can find lots of other things. All the little products that make up a hobby.
The scenery, the bridges, the static grass.
Scenes,
okay,
glue.
I can't message him as you. So I am going to log you out.
Okay. So, quite often, and I'm sure it's the same for a lot of people, maybe yourself as well, when you go into a model shop, if they said to you, can we help you? Are you looking for something in particular? You just say, I'm just browsing. And you still might find half a dozen
things that you
products.
Think you wanted,
And that's the other thing that model shops do. And it was part of the scope of the badge scheme, was that what we noticed was that when people shop in person, they tend to buy more, and they tend to buy more varied things.
I know, I buy more.
Yes. So by supporting your local model shop, you're supporting the means to browse. And I know that there will be some people, probably on our own web, but you can just browse online, it's standing. But it's like, you have to know what you want. It's very difficult to browse and find something. Oh my word, I never even knew this existed online, because of the way the search engines tend to work. It's very difficult to just randomly come across stuff. And I think that that's where model shops really do come into their own. But they also can give you the kind of advice that you need.
You can't beat seeing a model work in front of your eyes, handle it, see how weight it is, what it does, what the shop owner can demonstrate it, lights, sounds, whatever you want.
But also do things like DCC fitting there and then. And I know a lot of people a little bit wary of opening up a model, putting a decoder in, getting it all ready.
Expensive models, it's got very fine parts on them. Maybe the older
and it just sheds the detail.
You've got to be very careful.
Actually, model rail shops do add a lot of value into the hobby in that respect. And they're even telling you things like, you go in and looking at you, Craig. I need a stay alive fitting to everything. Well, actually, your model shop is often the place where they go, actually, I think you'll find actually you probably just don't need to fit a stay alive to something like a Hellion class 128. They're made of depleted uranium. They run like perfectly because they're so heavy. They do not need a stay alive, and actually, a model shop would be able to say, save your money. You don't need it.
You could demonstrate it working in front of without one.
Yes.
But 040 may be different, but
save your pennies for putting that in something that needs it, and that's very much the thing.
And some of the costs of decoders as well, the Hornby TXS ones are much cheaper than say Zemo or ESU or whatever.
and they can ascertain. It's like, well, what do you actually want to do with this? You get people who go, actually, I run on DC, and they go, well, you probably don't want to get a sound fitted one then because it's wasted on you.
It's going to be a cheaper option.
Right.
Or well, some will actually, won't they? Some sound fitted will run.
Yeah, but it all depends. If you're using a ye olde, makes all the lights down the street dim when you turn it upward, maybe you might. It's like, I wouldn't put a sound fit loco on that. I know it says on the box will work to some extent on DC, but not if you voltage spike it with some
But what if I want to voltage spike it?
ancient thing that glows blue?
What if I want to
makes
turn
the
everything up
street
to
lights
11
dim?
and do Billy's replacement speakers?
Yeah, well then you really will need Billy's replacement speakers and decoders.
So we've got a guest coming on the show tonight.
Mm-hmm. So we've got our check-in.
Yes, it's Andrew Moy Jones.
Can you turn us down ever so slightly?
Yeah, how's that?
I said ever so slightly, not totally. There we go.
Is that okay?
Is that okay for you as well?
Fine, no problem.
Right,
So we're ready to talk to our check-in today. Andrew Moy Jones is checking in with us to talk a little bit about what he's been up to in the model railway world. Which reminds me, I haven't talked to you about your model railway stuff yet.
We will, don't worry.
We will get there. But this is for a chance again. Well, it's not even a chance. You'll get a blue badge. And don't just park wherever you want. It's not that kind of blue badge.
So we're giving him a call now.
So we are connecting. And I believe we got Andrew Moy Jones. Can you?
Hello, Billy. Hello, Pete. Hello, Zoe.
We can see and hear you. Can you hear and see us? Okay.
Yes, I can. Yep.
Brilliant. So welcome to the Monday Club. Oh wow! Is that LGB?
Oh, that is a wonderful thing.
Oh,
Matching colours.
that is great. So that looks like an Ernstein and Köppel 040 from LGB. Sorry, I'm just being a nerd here. These are great.
Jenny being a nerd.
And being out in the garden as well. We've had lovely weather today, so this is perfect for in the garden.
Running around quite happily there.
They are. So, is this your primary modelling interest then for LGB in the garden?
Yeah, LGB. I also like one as well, which is also
that's a monster.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I just told that one is up. Get that on the line in a minute. This is basically the start of my garden railway. Eventually, I'm gonna have track going across these garden beds with bridges, and then at the bottom where the trampoline is, I'm gonna have a shunting area there, and I'm gonna come back on myself.
Right.
That would be amazing.
That's going to be lovely, and certainly when it gets to summer, you're going to find that is going to be such a lovely thing to have running. And with the LGB as well, they're quite forgiving out in the garden. So you can actually, are you going to, what sort of base are you going to put it on? Are you going to make a proper solid base, or are you going to use like pea gravel like they would with full-sized railways? Have you thought about how to construct it?
Well, I was going to use tarpaulin.
Barge board?
Tarpaulin.
No, tarpaulin. No, like the tarpaulin.
Sheeting.
Right. Yeah, so this kind of stuff here.
Ah, right.
That's what I was thinking of using around the line.
Perfect. Yeah. And of course, I mean, LGB is very forgiving in that way. I've seen a lot of people lay it and then they just kind of ballast it with fine pea gravel, and it's quite happy like that. And the locomotives too really do lend themselves to the garden, because as you see there, they go round actually a tighter radius curve than even stuff like O gauge.
Radius 2 type of stuff, is it?
Yeah, I mean, because that's really quite tight compared to say O gauge when you go down to the minimum radius for that. So it is actually a really great choice for the garden.
I think it would cross those little garden features.
I think your thumb's in front of the lens. Oh, there we go.
Will you be going across those two squares?
Garden beds, I'm going to strip out, and I'm going to put a bit of concrete in there to bring it up to a little bit level.
Perfect.
And I'm going to have trestle bridges. Going across this gap here, I'm going to have trestle bridges.
Right.
And then around here is going to be my shunting area.
Right.
Brilliant.
And then I'll still have stations in the bedding as well, eventually.
Excellent. And actually, LGB do make some really nice bridges that are suitable for the garden. Oh, is he
changing loco?
Yeah, it's changing the loco.
Oh, brilliant.
Put the steamer on.
Oh.
They had one of those at Scotland the other day. Easy.
They are really, really good. Yeah. Really, really good. So, Oh,
you will.
give him a minute.
We'll be there in a minute.
Yeah. I've made a terrible mistake getting on the ground here, haven't I?
Yes, you have. Get back on your stool, Grandma.
Well, that'd be a good garden railway, that, when he gets it all around the fence.
It will, yeah.
Absolutely.
And there's
a loop round at the end, and was it a turntable or something? An engine shed he was on.
Yeah, with shunting.
Yeah, I'm going to have a turntable.
A turntable as well.
I'll have a shunting area at the bottom.
That'll be awesome, that will.
That's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things I always do recommend to people is
stuff radio controlled.
Oh, right, so
it's like dead rail. Is it like dead rail?
Oh, that's cool.
I'm not sure. So is it radio controlled with batteries in the loco?
Yeah, this one's radio controlled.
Right.
But does
it set it on the track.
Is the other one radio controlled?
No, the other one's not radio controlled.
Oh, right.
That one works by power. This one is only radio controlled.
Right. Okay.
Excellent. And so, I mean, that really does lend itself to out in the garden. I mean, I've used HM7000 in my O gauge, but I know a lot of people like radio control because you literally sit in a deck chair with a glass of wine out in the garden, sun shining, birds singing.
Roger Windsor, isn't it? He's the man for it. Yeah. Roger Windsor's the man for it.
And these actually cope with some quite tight curves, which again, really perfect for the garden.
On the front there.
Oh yeah, the LGB stuff is really, really good for that.
It's detached. Sorry.
Yeah.
You didn't need those trucks. It's fine.
It's fine. It off.
Troublesome trucks.
Yeah. And
troublesome trucks.
And it should be said, actually, we were talking earlier on about supporting local retailers.
Yeah.
Tim Arcadia in Shaw does have a lot of LGB. If you go upstairs, so there are some great specialists with LGB.
Yeah.
And I think actually Nuffy's Models in Bolton as well have. I think he's got a load in second hand, so you can get some good deals.
We've lost him.
Footplate models as well. I've seen a lot of second-hand LGB on their stands.
A lot of shops will stock it at some point.
Yeah, and maybe
that's
that's the other thing as well to remember is that. No worries. But as I was saying, there's a lot of shops will get stuff in to order for you. If they don't carry it in stock, they will still be able to get a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's looking really, really great. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And do you model other scales as well?
I do double O gauge. I've got narrow gauge as well.
Oh wow!
My original plan was to have G gauge, and then double O gauge and narrow gauge, sort of like in the lower parts, to give it that depth.
The depth of field, like
force perspective.
Yeah,
that's a really good idea. Having T scale right in the background, so there's the railway really far away. I like that actually.
That would work. Yeah, a nice backseat with it. It would look brilliant, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because you wouldn't need a lot of space. It would just sort of. You could have it going through tunnels and stuff in the distance. I like that. That's a really good idea. But look, thank you for sharing that with us. It's been really great to see that, and really hope that comes together quite nicely. I think we're going to get a nice summer. Now I've said that, it probably just rained, but touch wood, we're going to get a nice summer, and we'd love for you to show us how that develops. If you share pictures with us. What I'll say as well is if you send Zoe your address for sending out the exclusive Monday Club Blue badge, we will pop one of these in the post to you. But look, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time out of your evening for having a chat with us. It looks like you've still got a really nice evening. It's nice we're getting these longer evenings now.
It really is.
But thank you so much for sharing that with us, and it's been a pleasure speaking to you. Zoe,
thank you so much for your patience. I wish we could have got you on last week, but things ran over.
Yeah, last week was kind of all, as you can imagine, things just sort of all happened very quickly. But look, thank you for bearing with us, and it's been a pleasure talking to you. So you take
waiting for.
Thank you,
Absolutely. So look,
thanks for having me on.
No worries. Look, you take care of yourself and keep us updated on how the build goes. Looking forward to seeing some more.
I'll keep up to date on the Facebook, the Monday Club Facebook.
Brilliant. Looking forward to it. Look, you take care and we'll catch you later.
Okay, see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So that was wonderful. That
brilliant. So that was really great to check in with them. And, with the summer coming up, Garden Railways are definitely very much a great idea, a great thing to do. Can we have the chat back on the screen?
No. No, you can't. You've been naughty. You have to go without the chat now.
And you should be able to stop virtual camera, which should take some of the overhead off.
Oh, it's got worse.
Yeah. So I'm just Ravenheart Modelling says, did you see that video of the LGB running underwater? So this is the thing, and I know Sam's Train's got a lot of stick for this, but actually, model trains will run quite happily underwater because they're only 12 volts. And water is a surprisingly good insulator.
Yeah,
unless you filled the paddling pool with salt. It's
pure water is almost totally an insulator because it's quite stable.
Yes, and it's actually the ions, the salts that are dissolved in the water causes conduction. So it's actually seawater would conduct.
I remember on the GMRC there was a layout there that actually ran through the water.
Oh yes, it was like is it Dutch?
2 or 3 inches deep.
Yeah, it was like a Dutch thing where they closed the floodgate things, and then the tide would come in, and it was based on a real railway. And I can't remember what the full story was, whether the dikes had been damaged, possibly during the Second World War, and before they got repaired, to run trains, they basically had watertight doors at the dikes, and the tracks went out, and then of course when the tide came in, it flooded the track.
Yes, a very good point. Don't make toast in the bath.
No.
That's too dangerous.
DJ K Triple 6 says yes, he remembers that as well. So Stephen Maxwell, I think is heading off. Look, just get well soon, take care, and hopefully see you again. A bit like the James Bond submarine car in The Spy Who Loved Me, says Marcus Muggins. I don't think that was an actual scale lecture, but the actual filming prop was completely hollow, and there was a couple of divers in there swimming in them. Oh god. Just look at Darren J. Mold says Darren Bree. Oh, it's just jumped. Darren Bree Central High Fly DC coming on fine. Also, new Scotland bubble car and Thornton cider wagon have 12 arch red brick viaduct. Boom! Excellent. Rocky Top Rail Productions has been thinking about getting that LGB set in the videos. My first G-scale train. The set is surprisingly affordable here in the US. Actually, it's surprisingly affordable in the UK as well. Some of these sets are actually really great value for money.
It's amazing.
But I do warn you now, it's like opening a Pandora's box, because it's like, well, I've got that now, I'll buy that and I'll buy that, and like anything else in model railways, you end up being sucked down the rabbit hole.
This is why I'm not allowed in Nuffy's models alone.
Yes.
Because he's got scale extra.
No.
Simon H317 says, can anyone recommend where to get a roof panel to represent 47601? It's quite a bit different from the others. I honestly don't know, but I'm sure that there'll be
3D printing could do it.
It depends how thin it is. You might need that to be an edge.
Plastic card, you've got a good point there.
That might be something to check out. Something like the Shoreplan range, maybe. There's I don't know, Shoreplan's still on the go. They used to do back in the day like metal etches for upgrading windows on things like the old Lima Class 37s and stuff. I'm sure there'll be an aftermarket trader that would do something to do that. Raymond Legg says LGB has train sets for slightly under $200 US.
Yeah, that's
actually less than you'd pay for something like even an O-gauge Daypole Class 08. Which is really good value for money as well.
That is shockingly cheap.
Simon H317 says 47601 was the test bed for the Class 56 engine, so I actually had a V16.
top on it.
I'm sure there'll be aftermarket suppliers. There's like a really thriving cottage industry of all these various things for modelling projects.
It's hard to get just the roof. You might get the whole model, but not just the roof.
I don't know. I mean, there are people who do upgrade kits for models. It might be an option.
Yeah. Not sure about that one. Yeah.
DJ K666 is
Scale Extra and pizza.
The what? Sorry.
Scale Extra and pizza make for the fun evening.
They do, especially if you put your pizza on the Scale Extra and you have to try and catch up.
Little Britain says, one day I will extend my 00 layout out of the container and into the garden to run it 3 seasons. I may need to cover it for the winter. An interesting point is that Pico Track is UV stable, at least. And my understanding is the darker sleeper base, so the ones that represent wooden sleepering, is UV stable, and that's for any scale. Right. So even down to like Z scale, that track is UV stable.
Happy birthday to my daughter, age 3 today.
So this is from Joanna Harris, 1153. Says, happy birthday to my daughter Amy, age 3 today. Well, I think there's a song for that. Happy birthday to you, squash tomatoes and stew, bread and butter in the gutter. Happy birthday to you. Oh, the clangers. RG Models 86 says Pico's track is virtually indestructible. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, as long as you don't tread on it. I would say, in all honesty, you don't have to worry about covering it. Quite literally.
It's nickel silver, isn't it? Most of it. So
it is. It will go a funny brown colour, which you might need to clean, and that was something that the Legacy track has. It's a higher grade. I think they say it's cutlery grade nickel silver. So that doesn't tarnish, which makes it a lot easier to clean in the garden. But I think for most people, they'd probably go with Pico. Don't worry about having to cover it. It'll be absolutely fine.
That Legacy track? Now it's moved to...
I honestly
changed company.
Layout Concepts now.
Layout Concepts.
I would hope they'd still do it, but we don't know yet.
I'll have to ask. Actually,
like a lot of things in model railways this year, it's a bit up in the air.
I think
a big unknown, grey area.
I suspect Layout Concepts still finding their feet with the range, and what products need reordering, do things need jigging, anything needs upgrading if there's products that don't sell. I think they're probably still going through that process.
I did put a film of my LGB layout on the Monday Club website earlier this week, if anybody's curious.
Boom! Definitely, we will have a look at that after the stream. Raymond Legs says, Little Bit, Code 100 is very durable for outside use, although Pico, is it Pico or Pico? German track is Code 100, but has a slimmer profile to mimic Code 83 and thus easily mates with Code 83. I would say that Tillig track is probably too fragile to put in the garden. I will warn you about that. But Pico, definitely good to go. And Tatic Moore says, hello to all in chat and the folks in the attic studio. Hello to you. There's some degree of lateness implied there. I'm going to have to...
Biscuits again.
The Monday Clubber is never late, Total Wagons. No, rather early. They arrive precisely when they need to.
Thanks, Gandalf.
Shackleton said the train with the press flow wagons seems to be going slower and slower.
With the press flow wagons, that's a Gronk. That's actually the Bachmann Gronks, and it's press twin silos. It's got 3 press twin silos, a cove hob, and it has got a press flow. One of the brand new, just released Bachmann ICI Salt ones, which you might recognise if you had Hornby 00 as a kid, or indeed maybe still have Hornby 00.
As a big kid.
That's one of the ones that they did, actually. Darren Watson says, good evening, everyone. I'm here.
The Monday Clubber is never late, Total Wagons. Nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. Little Britain does say, I would be covering the track to protect it from fallen branches and wild animals more than anything else. We're a farm here. Yeah, I don't think it'll take well to being trodden on by a horse or a cow.
Richard Brutus, does the solder joints last outside? Okay.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point.
Would you solder them outside or just stick it together?
Don't just solder it all as one big thing. Seriously, the track
need expansion points.
You need expansion gaps. So what I tend to do, and this is a really good question actually, is I use regular rail joiners to put all the track together. Yeah. Make sure, think about when you're laying it. If you're laying it in the height of summer, you can put them all the way together. But if you're doing it in winter, leave gaps for expansion when the summer comes. And then what I do, because you can't really reliably rely on the fish plates to get the electrical continuity, is you solder a loop wire from one rail to the next, bypassing the fish plates. When I've done it, I've hidden those wires underneath, sort of in the ballasting, because I use actual cement mix for that. And then they're not really obtrusive, but it means that everything's okay. You may find over time that the solder goes a bit... it isn't the solder that goes brittle, but a lot of model railway wire appears to be multi-strand aluminium rather than anything else, and those strands can become brittle and come undone. So it's always worth, at the beginning of the year, going around and just reflowing the solder.
Did you use insulated rail joiners in outside? Like for isolating sections?
You can do, yes, definitely. But...
They have a little stub in the middle, don't they? It keeps the gap.
They do, but it doesn't compress, so you have to factor that in as well. Right. When I did the garden, I kept it very simple. I didn't have isolating sections or anything, so I didn't use them. But you can do. I mean, Trevor Jones has an amazing garden layout in Double O, and I suspect that there's plenty of insulated rail joiners on that.
His layout is like the gold standard of garden railways. It was amazing. Yeah. And I loved how he hid a lot of his point mortars and stuff under fake rocks. Buildings, fake rocks. It was amazing. Yeah.
And it was interesting actually how he did that, because he cast the rocks with the lift-off gap in, so that he didn't really get a gap. Yeah. By using, I think he said he used cling film or something. So you
round the thing,
so you make the thing, cling film it, and then cast the rock on top. When it's set, when you lift it off, it's not stuck because of the cling film. Remove the cling film, and then you've got a perfect fit. And then that stops things like slugs and that from being able to get in. Somebody said, Richard Gruter says, to get solid copper cable. That might be an option. Just bear in mind, though, solid copper cable can be quite expensive, and it will be a thicker gauge. Now, the gauge of wire is not an issue electrically, but you may find it a bit harder to hide that. So, just...
Shackleton says, no, solid single-strand bell wire goes brittle, and if it breaks inside a plastic casing,
good point. Thank you for pointing that out.
That is an interesting point. An interesting point indeed. JTG Werewolf says, I use phosphorus bronze track joiners and plastic and insulated joiners, but also use wire loop from track to track just for continuity of power in the garden. And Richard Gruder says, I guess the dead rail is a major advantage externally. because you don't need to clean the track either.
You don't need the power. Snails crawling all over it.
A bit like the 5 and 7 inch gauge stuff.
Yeah.
Put the power in the locomotive itself, and then you don't have to worry.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't really, because the amount of power that a 7 1/4 inch locomotive would need would be.
Maybe I want to live dangerously.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you'd be down there licking the track.
Tastes like sparkly.
Yes. Yes. It tastes powerful. Makes my hair stand on end. Sparky 107 says, just computer cable is good for drops. Gauge 22. I run solid 14 for the main bus line. All good ideas actually. All good ideas. And this is why the Monday Club, your online model railway club, is such a great community for sharing information and experience. And Marcus Muggins says rust must be a problem with outdoor track. No, because it's not made of steel.
It depends on what track you're using.
Yeah, although I will say, don't use steel track. It will rust quite badly outside. But stuff like Pico track these days, it's been a long time since they sold the cheaper steel track. I think that was...
Hornby's always one for steel track, isn't it?
But I think even they have stopped doing that.
Yeah.
I don't. I think the only time you'd find steel track is if you're buying second hand.
Or Triangle, was it Triangle?
Triang may have. I mean, if you go back far enough, Hornby Double O used brass track.
Oh right. Yeah.
Amber Occupy Railway says, "Hi Jenny, do you still have your 5-inch gauge locomotive? Have you run it recently?" Yes, I still have it. Yeah. No, I haven't run it. And my dad has been bugging me, and we need to get a boiler certificate on that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, nickel silver track doesn't rust. It will get a layer of it. It'll go a kind of brown coppery colour,
oxidizing,
and that is the oxide. But it's not rust, and it cleans off very, very easy. Interesting. Raymond Legg says Bachmann USA sells steel track in their starter sets. I suppose because it's cheaper to make.
Well, that's the USA as well, though, isn't it?
And
yeah, they're not on a small island where you're only like 10 minutes from a lake or a river at all.
When you're only 10 minutes from a rain shower. Looking back, Yaharic says, "Got to go. Issues at home. See you next week. I hope everything's all right. Look, you take care, and we'll catch you later." Harry J. Sedgwick's posted a picture of a clock. It's just gone past 8 o'clock. Gosh, I told you it would go quick.
It flies by. It's amazing.
Train Spotter Tamworth says, "Yesterday I drove a 7 1/4 inch gauge Linton and Barnstable steam loco." Oh wow, and they're quite beefy at that size, aren't they?
Oh, 7 1/2 inch.
But
John James's your man for that, isn't he?
He is actually. He is Mr. 5-inch gauge, definitely.
When he's not putting
sound into everything. Moved on from it now, hasn't he? He's gone to 1-to-1 gauge, Ollie, hasn't he?
He's been through every single thing, hasn't he?
He's gone to what? Sorry,
1-to-1 gauge.
What's he bought?
He drives his own proper
big stuff,
full-scale thing these days.
CBRF, isn't he?
What, John JMC?
No, Ollie.
I thought we were talking about John JMC.
We did, then we moved on.
Oh, sorry, you moved
Keep
on.
up, madam.
I'm sorry, you moved on without me. You left me behind.
She's a burger. Really is.
Marcus Muggins. Modern Pico track is all good to go. It's all nickel silver, and to be honest, it probably has been for at least 25 years.
You eat a lot of
Tim Rail was asked, "Jenny, do you eat a lot of Easter eggs?" No, we had one. We had one each.
One giant one.
It wasn't that big. Easter eggs aren't big anymore.
No, you don't get nothing in them.
Yeah, the price goes up, the size goes
box
down.
goes bigger, you just get the egg small.
When I was a kid, Easter egg, I can remember. One Easter egg used to last you for quite some time.
We had the 12s, didn't we? The Easter egg 12. When I was a kid, you'd get 2 12s in the box with the Easter egg.
Now you get one.
Not only do you just get one, it's a single stick.
Yeah.
You used to get a double.
Swizz.
Can I just say as well, used to be a mug in there as well.
Oh, there used to be a mug. I've still got some of those.
In a mug.
Yeah.
And a big
I've
one as well.
not seen that for a long time.
I loved a mug.
Yeah, we're getting ripped off, people.
Ravenheart Modelling says, "The Easter Bunny laid lots of eggs in my garden, but they were tiny."
DJ, I polished an Easter egg.
I don't think you should be
point
eating
out
those.
Rabbits don't lay eggs.
Yeah, can I just say, you might want to avoid eating those. DJK Triple Six says, "I polished off an Easter egg in a day." It's easy enough to do, and
collection of those mugs.
So have we, actually.
Yeah, I love them.
I think we've got Mars one, Finger of Fudge, Milky Way.
The Mars mug was my mug of choice growing up as a teenager. My tea was always in a Mars mug.
Yeah. Valley's 50. I think I need to put on the 3 Yorkshireman voice for this. "When I were a lad, I used to carry home an Easter egg in a wheelbarrow." Wheelbarrow? Luxury. "When I was a kid, I used to have to get a Pantechnicon to move my Easter egg." Oh, you don't know you're born. You used to have to get the Queen Mary to deliver mine.
Okay.
Yeah. I bet those eggs the rabbits leave in the garden aren't tasty. They're a bit nutty.
So we've got a message here from Richard Swiderski. Because I thought we'd start a little bit earlier just to make sure we get these through.
So it says, "Hi Jenny and Zoe, hope you're both well. A video Can you move the mouse pointer so I can read?
Go on then.
A video for the Monday Clubbers, a double take of A4 60007, Nigel Gresley passing through Hertford Station in Cheshire on the 11th of March
So
with the
right up to date.
Cumbrian Mountaineer Rail Tour. So this is from Richard Swiderski. And whilst the Monkey of Madness is queuing that up, I haven't asked you about your own modelling yet.
Well, yes, there's not a lot of it, I have to say. I have the boards and a track plan, not actually connected. I did get one end board wired up and tested, but because I have to have curved points on it, and an N-gauge notoriously bad, I kept getting derailments. Right. And also the levelling, trying to get the levelling right was a bit of an issue as well.
Less forgiving an N-gauge, definitely.
It is, yeah. So that's been the problems we're up to really at the moment. So it put me off a little bit.
But you've actually brought one of your projects along. Yeah. I think people who were have been reading the Monday Club Facebook group will remember the trials and tribulations of Peter Jackson and a lesson in why you don't put acrylic and enamels together.
Oh my goodness!
This is. Can I be the first to say?
Doesn't that look
real?
Oh my god! Yeah.
It just runs down the side. It just won't stick to the side.
It's an oddity, isn't it?
I think that
that looks real.
Probably needed to prime them first.
Yeah.
I think Tamiya plastic prime.
If you're trying to mix Tamiya with acrylics, it doesn't work.
Yeah,
they're weird.
I did test pieces,
and it looks all right.
Nothing wrong.
But if you get this, there's a product called Model Strip. I would suggest.
I've got some now. Yeah.
Strip them back to bare plastic, and then respray them. And you may also find, because were you spraying over a painted finish that was already on?
Well, it's been strips of paint first.
Right.
Filled in with bits of filler and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've seen that. So you've got plastic card behind and filler on the windows, because these are departmental conversions.
Right, yeah, DBs. DBs are my
That is lovely, Richard. Thank you so much for sending that in.
Yep, good.
Absolutely.
Great video,
Thank you
Richard.
so
Great
much.
Video, yeah. But when I done another one, that's the first one I did.
Oh, you've done a great job with that.
Yeah.
I take it they're transfers because
they're Railtech transfers.
They're nice. So
give me a second. I'm bringing you up. Thank you so much for sending that in. That was lovely.
Yeah. That is a really lovely job.
You've done an incredible job.
The paint worked on that.
And was that the same method?
Well, I think it was different paint, and that was was it not? No, not
Tamiya.
I think it was Tamiya. Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, they've come out really well.
Yeah, and that's the second. Well, the second one I did.
That again, really, that's come out okay.
It's
slightly
different, but yeah.
So, what's it? Railtech for the
Railtech. Steve Bell, Railtech transfer.
Can I just say that they're really quite impressive? I mean, N-gauge, and yet they're so crisp.
Yeah.
And there's another one there. Those are really nice.
Yeah.
The CCT, that's got a broken window, but it looks a bit more authentic.
Yeah, it just looks like it's been vandalised.
But they've all been matte varnished as well, you see.
Oh, you've got to varnish
Takes
them,
the shine down. Yeah,
they've
come out really well.
That's fantastic.
So, got a few more to work on, but those other two, and
I'd say strip them back to bare plastic. But get some Tamiya plastic primer and just a thin coat.
Yeah, that's it.
And give it a few days to dry.
Yeah.
And hopefully you'll get a much better finish on that.
Yeah. I'm after a teak coat. I'll show you a picture.
The Growler Blackwood N-gauge says, "Now I know where to get my network rail coaches, Peter."
So I'm after a teak coach to do one of them there. Now, when I went to Glasgow the other day...
So let me hold that up for the people at home.
When I went to Glasgow...
That's all right, they can see. Yeah. That is really nice, actually. So that's
obviously the real one, but I mean, when I went to Glasgow the other day, there's a guy there, modelled one. Not quite the same as that, but in that colour with the transfers on and everything.
Wow.
But it was a kit.
So were these actually...
That's obviously the book of the real ones that they did, you know. Like that.
But would that have been a conversion, or would they have been built like that?
No, that's a conversion.
So that would have originally just been a regular teak coach, like the crimson and cream ones that go around.
There was actually a formerly an Eleanor Gresler BG 70170.
Right.
Converted in 1966.
Right. So when they were withdrawing the teaks, some of them went on to departmental use, which is actually, I believe, that's how all of the preserved Gresley teaks actually survived. Was in use as tool vans, packing vans, and stuff like that in departmental use.
A lot of what you've got now as preservation has come from departmental work.
Yeah. I mean, I remember for a great many years in some of the sidings at York, there was a Gresley teak in what was a very, very down at heel, like olive green livery. Yeah,
olive green came before the yellow, but the red ones were Scottish, I think it was. Red ones were Scottish, But again, going back to modelling and manufacturers, you don't see many of these manufactured by the big companies. Yeah, maybe an odd one from Bachmann. Bachmann tend to do the odd ones.
Well, I mean, they've done some of the RTC ones. Yes, I think the issue is they have to base them on the standard coaching stuff. Well, so, I suppose, I mean, I'm just looking around. We haven't got any of the Gresley BGs.
Well, that's a Gresley set.
Yeah, that's a Gresley set, but there's no BGs in there. But I suppose, actually, I mean, this would be in Hornby's wheelhouse. Actually, doing some of the Gresleys in departmental livery would be quite interesting because you've got the red one, olive green.
There's all sorts of versions of them. And different sort of door styles and things like that.
Because I mean, you could do that out of. I mean, it wouldn't be exactly the same, but as a kind of a compromise, you could use the Gresley BG as the basis and put that paint job on it. But all the ones that you see, there's quite a few up at Kirby Stephen East has quite a few. I guess they were all formerly in departmental use, which is how they survived the great cull of the 60s and 70s.
Something else I'm working on is cable carriers, and also the electrification trains.
Oh yeah,
with the flat tops.
Yes,
They used to work in, I think, rates of 5 or 6.
Was that where they had the guys walking on the roof, like clipping
with the cables? Yeah.
There's actually a really interesting British transport film,
that's the one,
which covers the electrification. And there's some really good shots of the electrification train at work. Yeah,
there's a firm in Manchester called Bees Hill Models, based in Ordenshire, I think it is, that used to do in Engage the flat top wagons as a rake and the cable cars. Cable carriers to do them. Well, I've not seen him for a while. Still doing them, but not for some of them.
Richard Gruter says, I love the teak. Leslie Gilpin Railway says a lot of the Gresley teaks in preservation were Cold War emergency vehicles kept in store around the country. And some of the Gresley buffet cars survived long into VR ownerships and were painted in blue-grey. Yeah, the buffet cars were, because there was a shortage of buffet cars.
No Mark IIs.
Yeah, so some of the Gresley buffets, a number of them, I don't know how many, were given sort of a little bit of a refurb, painted in blue and grey. But Hornby have actually released one of those, because I've got it. And it's the only teak that they released in blue-grey. But what always fascinates me is the coaches which did the pre-Mark I designs that got blue-grey. And there were actually surprisingly quite a few odd bits and pieces.
I know there's one at Llangollen, or there was one at Llangollen, 1706, I think it was, or 1703. Well, I've seen it in blue and grey.
Gresley Buffet?
Yeah.
That might be the one that Hornby did a model of.
Yeah. A few years ago when I saw it.
It goes for silly money now, but I remember at the time it was the one that got remaindered because people were a bit snooty about buying it. I bought one brand new, and I think I only paid $35 for it, and people thought that was expensive for a coach then. Now that's like, I'll snap your hand off for that.
I'd say to Growl, code 80, Ewan, code 80.
Oh, the curve point, yeah. DJ K666 says the Bluebell got a good number of its coaches and wagons from the departmental use, as well as at least one crane runner. It was a great route, actually, for a lot of the older stock to be preserved. Now, I'm being given the hurry up.
No, hurry up, just as we're talking. We've got a message.
Mark Wilson has taken some time out from waxing the DeLorean, and he's come back from 1965.
So if you could press the button,
these pictures are wonderful.
It's amazing, just incredible. The level of detail.
Even the pictures he takes are just
It's the light as well, because when you look at that,
the angles and everything, it's just really good.
He's clearly using natural light, and that's how you get the really great shadows. Because the problem if you use artificial light is the shadows don't really quite look right.
But it's low down as well, like platform level, isn't it?
Absolutely.
A Monday clubber is never late, James Pets. Nor are they early.
James Pets is
they
in the building.
arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf.
You're welcome.
Of Mr. Pets' arrival.
Yes, the tone of the dress of the Monday Club has risen considerably. One of these days, he's going to have words with him. I really wish you'd stop drawing attention to the fact that one likes to be well dressed.
Oh my goodness!
Oh wow!
Fantastic.
So those of you who are asking how to send videos in, I'm going to put it into the chat in a moment.
The weather on that is amazing, absolutely.
And it's the attention to detail, because you look at the litter on the track as well.
Bits of paper and everything there.
And everything just looks
the adverts
perfect
as well.
It's perfect. There was just nothing to fault.
And brickwork, the staining and the brickwork.
On the Facebook group, he actually he does sometimes just like a sepia black and white version of the photos. Right. And when he shares those, you wouldn't know it was the real thing. Yeah. I think the only thing that gives it away is they're running on 00 track. And it's slightly narrower. That's the only thing that gives it away as not being the real thing. But his attention to detail is just incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Amazing.
Ian White says, do you know if Model U would scan my dog?
Yes.
Yes, they will. And
not only would they have scanned dogs in the past.
Yes. Yeah. All your dog has to do is sit still for a couple of seconds so they can scan it. Now that they've got the scanning booth, because it's so much quicker.
Oh, it's like that.
Yeah, the old one where they had to sort of like paste you in with the thing. That took about a minute and probably would have been too difficult. But now they can, yes. Because I believe that they can also scan if you want to strike a pose. You can actually like jump and they scan you whilst you're in the air. So you can do all sorts of stuff.
Oh, we're getting bullet time from the Matrix here.
Pretty much. I believe I believe that Mark Wilson
doing the bullet.
Okay, come on, people, come on. I forgot what I was going to say now. I believe that he may be using the West Hill Wagon Works range of ground signals. I've got some actually here on Weir Yard.
I've got some in TT120 as well.
I've got the DCC Concepts ones, which you can still get from Layout Concepts. Really, really good. And they actually do. Are they lit up?
No. Well, yes, they are actually.
Oh, that's okay. Sorry for a moment. Because
three of them are. I think the middle one's the ABC, is it?
Yeah, I'll have to go underneath. It'll be a loose connection. Yeah. But the light up ones from now Layout Concepts, they are superb. But if you want budget ones which look the part but don't light up, then the West Hill Wagon Works ones are really, really good. Yeah, James Pets, the lighting is perfect. So Mark Wilson, not only does he have an eye for detail, but he has an eye for incredible photography. Because, it's that sort of like the dingy light and shadow.
If you told me that was the real thing, I would have believed you.
Well, I think it may have been this being one of the photos he put up on the Monday Club group. And he did it in black and white, and it just looks real. Absolutely real.
Day, 1963.
Yeah, I mean this. Sarah Davis. If you can fit within their booth, they can scan you. Just incredible levels of modelling.
And painting the figures as well, which was not easy, is it?
I mean, I know it'd be a bit like Wizard of Oz, pulling back the curtain and. Oh, it's nice. I thought the cat was playing with a bag downstairs. It's. I would love to see these models and see how he does all this, but maybe he guards his secrets quite fiercely. I do think that Mark Wilson, needs to take time out from waxing a DeLorean and actually get in touch with magazines, because
this is incredible.
These deserve to be on the front cover of every magazine.
Mark, you should be putting out a calendar.
Yeah, actually.
That's a
Vistaprint do a calendar.
I would buy a calendar.
Yeah.
Apparently we have buffering. It may only be it for you, James Pets. Yes, it was at James Pets' end.
This looks incredible.
I like the slightly faded look of the advertising signs as well.
Yeah.
I'm interested to know. I did see Mark Wilson in the chat earlier on.
Mark Wilson says
nobody sees behind the curtain. But I'd love to. Where do you get your the advertisements from? Do you print them off yourselves, or do they come from somewhere?
A colour laser printer could do that.
But it's the slightly faded, washed out look, which I think really
Photoshop
makes
can do
it.
that for you.
Yeah.
You adjust the individual CMYK saturation levels.
Yeah. Now, Dan Sterland says, "Good evening, guys." Degree of lateness there.
A Monday clubber is never late, Toto Wagons. No, hurry, hurry. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
What are we?
Richard Brutus only buffering in the sizes.
Hold on. The Tumble of Clowns has a straggler that has something to say. Rushing in with his trombone. Did he bring his trombone? Yeah, Jeff Hines says, I would go for a calendar. I think, Mark Wilson, even if you won't let people look behind the curtain, and I can completely understand that, consider doing a calendar. I think that, some of your pictures would just really blow people away. Raymond Legs, 5508, behave yourself. That rusty trombone needs some oil.
You could suggest it through Bombay Magazine.
I have suggested magazines before, but maybe he just doesn't want the magazine photographers to see his. But
you could do it through Bombay Magazine, sure.
But these photos are of a quality where I think if you just sent them the photos, you're not allowed to see behind the curtain. I'll send you the photos, you publish them, and send me the money. DJ K666 says, I'd second that. I'd definitely buy a Mark Wilson calendar.
Yeah.
Maybe
and I'd buy one of his layout as well.
Maybe that's something. Maybe that's something we could help Mark with. Actually,
I'm happy to organise that.
Yeah, we could help you organise that and sort something out. I think that needs to happen. We need to make this happen. The Mark Wilson calendar.
Time for next year.
Mark Wilson says, I've done a few magazines. Richard Watson is a regular visitor. You let Richard Watson see behind the curtain?
New junction.
Oh, he won't turn up. He's annoyed with me. But yeah, James Pett says, nicely weathered. Really great weathering.
That is superb.
But it's like, Mark Wilson is such a great all-rounder with his skills. The attention to detail, the scratch building, the photography, but then also the weathering. Because it's not just the locomotive. I mean, you look at the track and the buildings, like those girders, everything is perfectly weathered.
Yeah.
It just
looks great observation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything is there to make your eye go, yes, this is right.
He's seen that and he's seen that's how it is.
And it can just translate it straight into something that looks perfect. Richard Gruter says, I got sacked from Calendar Factory for taking a few days off. I didn't realise that we had an awful lot of people from Walls' lollipop stick joke department in. Richard
if you told me that was a photo of the time and it was real, I would say yes, it is. Yeah. That looks incredible.
Richard Swiderski, I believe it's 00. But I mean, like, that building is completely scratch built because without compromise, he has made it to be the perfect representation of what would have been there.
The colour in the brickworks and everything. It's just...
Everything about it is just so amazing.
The stonework is just perfect, isn't it?
Yeah.
All picked out.
I could look at these little... right, Mark Wilson, we need to get a calendar going.
Look.
You can send him a badge just for that.
It looks amazing.
Yeah. everything about it, and like you said, yeah, I mean,
the texturing on the windows, so that bits look like they've been.
They look sooty.
Some hasn't.
Yeah.
The missing part of the stone.
Oh,
yeah.
My God!
Is that as zoomed in as it'll go?
Yeah.
The thing about these is you can zoom right in, and they're still perfect.
Yeah.
Zantek says you need to get Mr. Wilson on the show. I think he likes to go incognito, but we said just point the camera at your model.
Yeah.
We will.
Come on, wearing a mask. Oh, that'll be amazing. Print out a Jenny mask and come and sit next to her.
Actually, no. It needs to
Don't have to be Halloween now.
It needs to come in with one of those novelty Ronald Reagan masks that you used to be able to get in the 80s.
Get a Donald Trump.
Raymond Legg says, I see individual handmade 00 and HO bricks on eBay. Might get some. But I mean, look at everything about that, even down to is that Flemish bond on the brickwork? And like the timetables. I bet you if you could zoom in further, those timetables and notices would be perfect.
He's just amazing at this stuff.
Yeah,
and I could gush about this all day.
If I I don't want to take anything away from Bachman because the stuff is really good, but the only thing that actually lets it down as being a model, apart from the width of the track, is the Bachman coach. You can see the thickness in the windows, and those coaches are good. But Mark Wilson's
when you're up to
modelling
this
is amazing.
level, the slightest thing is what draws it off.
Yeah.
Oh, framing with the buildings on the sides.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
I love it. I absolutely love it. This is amazing.
It really is.
So, Mark Wilson, how long would this particular scene take to do? So, like from scratch to this finished object that you're photographing, how long does it take you to build this station? DJ K666 says, "What did mention of a mask reminded me of the League of Gentlemen Christmas special." I've never watched the League of Gentlemen.
The 3 months. Oh my goodness! I would have thought longer.
So he's a speed modeler like myself.
Yeah.
Is that each layout, Mark?
Wow.
I think it's specifically for this.
Oh right.
That's getting a lot done, and I believe Mark Wilson doesn't just sort of sit at home 15 hours a day doing this. He has a job somewhere as well. So that's 3 months in his spare time.
That's incredible. It really is.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for sending that in.
Very impressive. No.
Richard Gruter says I'd take 3 months to do the washing up.
Been there, done that.
Yeah. DJ K666 says if I could model even half as well as that, I'd be happy. Yeah, an eighth as well.
Aspirational modelling. That's how I like to see it.
It is.
I like that, and I aspire to get to that level.
Yes. I hope I'm not gushing all over you too much, but honestly, the standard of the model.
We strive for greatness. We
do, absolutely. And it's just amazing. Yeah. So, who have we got up next? We've got RG Models 86. It says, "Happy Easter, Jenny and Zoe. Hope it's well with you both." Indeed it is. Hope it is well with you too. For the occasion, I've put together this short video.
Oh, that reminds me. It's not something that's been sent in from Monday Club, but go and have a look at Melchester Model Railways with this sound-fitted Jenny and Zoe video. It's incredible. It's hilarious.
So what? Oh, I haven't watched that with the sounder. What?
I have. It's incredible.
And does it actually sound like us talking?
It's clips from the Monday Club.
Oh, is it?
It's brilliant.
I've got to see this.
I really do. Facebook group, is it?
It will be, yeah.
You will have to after the stream. We must watch this.
But I said, oh man, I was laughing so much. But what have we got? Oh yes, the special Easter delivery from RG Models 86.
Ooh. So
I'm just going to put this on into the group.
Yeah, Andy Fry's Junction says the sound vid is fantastic. Sarah Davis wants the link sharing.
I will.
Can I just say I love the look at the reflection in the water.
Beep beep.
Wow. Shockies! Shockies! Perfect. The Bluebell, the P class, actually, that
doesn't
really
it look amazing?
Yeah, to be honest, I kind of really wanted the Bluebell, but I couldn't justify it. But it is a lovely, lovely model. Choo choo, beep beep.
I love stuff like this.
I like the weathered stone in the foreground.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's nice
stuff like this
here
just reminds you, because sometimes we do need reminding. We all get a bit too involved that this is supposed to be our fun hobby.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, I am getting a lock programmer. We should make a sound profile that people can stick on their locomotives, and it would just be Zoe going beep beep for the horn.
Yeah, the horn just goes beep beep.
A couple of clowns behind.
Yes. The real
This is a
Bluebell
lovely
currently under
railway.
overhaul.
This is gorgeous.
Nice. I like your trees, actually. They're nice trees. Yeah. Oh, and your track is a lot straighter than mine.
I still can't believe that with you.
What, with the kink?
The kinky track. And then the moment that you repair it, everyone says, bring back the kinky track.
Yeah, they went, oh, I like the kink. It's like, oh. I repaired. My dad kept mithering me. He kept saying, oh, you've got a kink in that. And it's like, yeah, tell me something I don't know.
It's still a cute better point as well.
Yeah, Ravenheart Modeling says, just Jenny going, psh, psh.
That's brilliantly
and
done.
Zoe
I
going,
like that.
beep beep.
That gentle ramp, that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And great use of super quick, actually. Some people just like knock super quick, but you can see they're really good. I like
There's
super
nothing
quick.
wrong with super quick.
No, nothing at all. I like them. I think it's because they've been around a long time. But I want
Thank you so much for sending that in. That was wonderful.
Absolutely. Thoroughly enjoyed. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
That was really nice. Thank you.
Summer Breeze Mullerose says, hi Jenny and Zoe, sorry we're late, not long in as it's Holly's birthday today, so hold on.
Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks Gandalf. Also, somebody mentioned a birthday, so happy birthday to you. Squashed tomatoes and stew, bread and butter in the gutter. Happy birthday to you.
And I've just put into the chat the Melchester one as well with the sound fitted to Jenny and Zoe.
Oh wow! I wonder.
God,
I saw.
You really need to hear it.
I saw him post the link. I didn't actually watch it.
I watched it because he sent me a.
Why didn't you tell me?
He sent me a link saying, "Is it okay to make this? Is it and make it public? Is it fine?" And I watched it. I was laughing so much, and then I just sent him a message going, "I approve."
Yeah. So thank you for that. Leslie Gilpin Rower says, super quick, we're a faff back in the day. Metcalf, much easier and accurate. Yeah, I mean, the super quick ones were more challenging to build, but actually you get some great results. And one of the areas, so like the military establishment is 3 of the, I think it's B-35 market houses, kit bash.
Oh, together.
Yeah, so there's 3 kits there together.
And the clock tower at the back?
The clock tower is, I believe, actually that's from the terminus station. I never knowingly built them as per the instructions. I just used
kit bash.
Yeah, and they're actually quite good for kit bashing.
Yeah.
So this is from Phil Metcalf. So with the long weekend, tried cutting the first resized Gronk shell to fit a Kato 104. Sizes were out, then went on Titan Forge to make a driver for narrow gauge Garden Railway. Looking for train control, I found my Scalextric bikes as well. I lost them when I moved last year.
Scalextric bikes are cool. Let's
Oh
have a
yeah.
look.
So let's have a look at these.
Well, we got those, have we?
I don't have any of these, but I do like them. I had a motorbike and sidecar when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And when I wasn't a kid anymore, one of them didn't have a head.
I don't remember the motorbikes. Did they lean in the corners?
I think these in 90s and 2000s. Yeah. But I can't be sure, but they look
I take it they don't make them at the moment?
Not at the moment. They only make one racing truck. Everything's cars at the moment.
Oh, the steeple cab.
I do love those.
Queso.
I do love those.
Gandalf!
Gandalf! Yes!
Gandalf!
And who's this in the background?
Oh, that's probably Iron Horse Railways' ticket collector.
Oh, I do love Iron Horse's ticket collector.
Something 209.
Yeah.
Yes. Present your ticket. You have 5 seconds to comply.
That's a Space Marine. I recognise the profile.
There we go. What's that? Oh, the Gronk shell, is that?
Oh, the resin.
We said you got the sizes slightly wrong, so it's gone pop.
It happens.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a Terminator. It's a Space Marine in Terminator armour.
A Terminator. Come with me if you want to leave.
Warhammer. Yeah. I was thinking it's a bit small to be a Dreadnought. Oh, it's a Terminator armour.
Yeah.
So this is the Gronky-mon. Gronky-mon.
Who's sending these in?
The what's
Phil Metcalf.
Phil Metcalf. Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah.
But they've got the sizes wrong, and I think it's popped the bottom off when they've tried to get it on the chassis. But there we go. I think
these things are so cute. I need to get one.
Look at Gandalf.
None shall
pass.
Really cheap as well.
I know. I just never get round to it. I want to get one and then put it onto those little dioramas that they do. Yeah. I love those. They're so good.
You get one of those and 2 or 3 wagons for about 50 quid.
Yeah, I just never get round to it. I've got to do
value.
it.
Great value.
Superb chassis.
I might see if I can do that at one of the shows we go to as a challenge.
Superb chassis, yeah.
So they're actually a great donor chassis for if you're doing games 3. Yeah. So like the 4D stuff, these would be perfect for going underneath something like that.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for sending that in.
Absolutely, really enjoyed that. Thank you so much.
Oh, is this the new camera? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
New camera, no waiting.
Yes.
Thank you so much. That was lovely.
Hey, we're getting through the backlog here. This is
we are. I'm going now checking the sent folder and everything.
Are you alright? Cluster headache?
No. Right.
You went and prodded your bruise.
Yeah.
Where you brutally and maliciously allowed a rocking chair to beat you up.
Yeah. It's mostly healed, but this bit's still.
Yeah, I think you put a dent in your skull.
I almost certainly have, if you look.
Oh yeah, I can see the dent.
Yeah, there's a slight dent in my skull. I've cracked my skull.
Yeah. Croxo75 says, evening, been lurking and watching in the background. Hashtag First Monday Club, welcome. Great to see you.
Welcome, Watchers of Illusion, to the Castle of Confusion.
Yes. Yeah. The confusion is only from Zoe. So this is from John Crook.
I think he's attached it.
We can't play it.
It will crash the system, unfortunately.
Right. We can only play videos that are already hosted elsewhere. So you send us the link. Unfortunately, if you send us the video as an attachment, we can't play it on the stream because it maxes out the processor.
Have to be public on YouTube, I think.
Even unlisted. Unlisted will do it.
Yeah, even an unlisted video. As long as we've got a link, we can play it. So Angela Popkins says, hi Jenny and gang. New subscribers, Angela and Danny, just joined. Loving the content. Thank you so much. Always great to see newcomers to the channel.
One of us. One of us. One of us.
Hashtag totally a cult for legal and tax purposes. Yeah. So, right.
Press the button. There we go.
Hit the lever. Oh, there is more.
No, that's my scent. I actually went for spam and it didn't go. I just quickly check to make sure because sometimes it turns up.
Sometimes.
No, I think we may have actually got through them all.
Yeah.
I get a lot of weird stuff sent over.
Yeah, when you were a politician, people thought it was funny to sign you up to loads and lots of rubbish mailing lists for spam.
You wouldn't believe how many times I apparently made an OnlyFans account. Airfix is in my spam folder.
Yeah. Croxo75 says it's definitely fun watching on PC and the big TV at the same time here in the railway room. Boom!
Yes,
excellent.
For those of you who are watching in 3D, how?
Yeah, it's like 3D. Ooh. I'm going to touch your.
Why are you using that accent?
I don't know. I don't know.
You've got to love this one. Apparently, I sent this to myself. This is in my spam folder. Zoe Robinson sent me a message saying, "We've blocked your account."
No, you haven't.
No, you haven't.
Yes. DJ K666 says, I approve of clearing backlogs.
Yep.
He thinks he's James Pets. Oh dear. So Angela Popkins thanking people for welcoming them to the club, and don't forget to tickle that like button. This is going out to everybody. I think. Don't forget to tickle. What? What have you done?
I've won something on eBay. I'm going to close this down now. So
when did you?
3 holidays.
I put a quick
a quickie in.
When? Apparently yesterday.
You muppet! You're those people who give people buying on YouTube and on eBay a bad name.
Yes, I completely forgot. I genuinely forgot.
Yeah, what is it? What have you been buying?
I can't remember.
You can't remember. It was that great. You can't remember.
That's true. How is Robinson Raceway anyway? Has it started yet?
Robinson Raceway, yeah.
The
it's building.
The Le Mans starting grid.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. But yeah, DJK666 says I picked up an Airfix Prairie for 20 quid. That's actually pretty good. Raymond Legs, no. Nobody had a quickie. There's nothing to see here. Move on by. Nothing to see. But yeah, Flymo Chairman 1 absolutely. Videos can be uploaded to the Monday Club Facebook group, the Monday Club Railway Facebook group, and there's the link to it. But you do have to be a member of the group first. And Valley's 56XX says I've bought several things with no memory of bidding. I blame cider. Yeah. Sometimes I often say computer keyboards perhaps should be fitted with a breathalyzer.
Well, with this one, it's because I put it in at the start of the week, so thinking I'll just put like a $5 on it, see what happens. And it wasn't until Sunday, but I wasn't on my computer yesterday.
Yeah.
Following it. Yeah.
Christopher Lewis says TARDIS. Yes, that's one of the permanently attached to the layout TARDISes. It is one that used to run. Did anybody actually spot the TARDIS that is the mobile TARDIS?
Is it still there?
Where's Warbler Productions? I'm
was
sure
it before.
It was.
Someone did mention it early on.
Oh, well, there we go. There we go.
Also the rubber duckies.
Raymond Legg says, when I see a cool train, my wallet gets smaller. Yeah. Simon H317 says, apparently I bought a Hellion Class 58 in blue last night.
Ooh.
That's one of the loco classes. I don't. Well,
mainline
blue.
Yeah.
We had an issue the other day, didn't we?
Did we?
Apparently, someone signed us up to Canal Plus on Amazon.
Studio Canal.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, you must have done that.
I don't remember doing that.
Well, apparently you don't remember lots of things. Like you couldn't remember what you bid on. But,
lots of people do that.
Warbler Productions says the other TARDIS is in the inner lower loop line freight. I pointed it out about an hour ago. Yes.
Yeah.
So it was there.
His wall of plasma with the algorithm enhanced 34 to 48. TARDIS located! TARDIS located! I've turned into a Dalek now.
You have to get some Doctor Who figures to look for.
Yeah, Raymond Legg says Hellion sounds like a brand of mayonnaise.
Oh, right. Yeah.
There's 2 over there, actually.
It's actually on the screen, but I don't think we can see it big enough.
Oh, you...
Oh, that locomotion there, I see.
Yeah, that was... Do you remember Great British Models, the magazine set you could buy everywhere? And it came with... a cheesy knockoff 3D scan of models.
Right.
That was the very last issue. Was that the tender and a children wagon? The children wagon's over there by the signal box with with flowers planted in it. Yeah. And the tender is on Mineth Tatus Newid. Nothing goes to waste. Yeah.
So there you are. You can just see the Dalek next to the companions with the TARDIS.
Yeah, there is a second Dalek, but it's just off shot.
I think it's Tom Baker
or
John Pertwee didn't stand out.
Yeah, I think
there is someone who makes them, but I'm not sure how legit they are.
Oh, right.
Well, that's Tom Baker's TARDIS, and the one over there is John Pertwee's TARDIS. So we need a Tom Baker and a John Pertwee Doctor.
But it stand out because they're like distinctive characters, weren't they? The big scarf and things.
Yeah. Marcus Muggins says, I once bought several Class 52 Westerns after drinking several too many Henry Westerns. I can see 3 of them. I don't know whether I've got double vision. I best buy them all to be sure.
It's chance you can get Dan Havlick?
Dan Havlick, says Simon H317. Who's Dan Havlick?
Simon H.
Who is that? Might have to remind me. I'm not good with names.
We also need to get the guy from the Engage Society on.
Oh yes, well that's in your court. Raymond Legs says, "Gronk it up, gronk it up, gronk it up." Hashtag not a cult for legal and tax purposes. Sarah Davis says, "You need 3 doctors pointing at each other with their sonic screwdrivers like Spider-Man."
I love that in what was it? No Way Home, the 3rd Spider-Man Marvel film. They actually have the 3 Spider-Men, and they all point at each other like that.
All right.
Yeah.
I remember Colin Baker's doctor with the
Technicolor
dream coat. Yes.
Yes, and he hated that coat. He wanted an all-black coat like Christopher Eccleston got, but it was the 80s.
Yeah, and what's his name?
Peter Davison.
No, the guy afterwards.
Sylvester McCoy.
Sylvester McCoy looked
the best of the original Doctors.
Absolutely, but he looked very odd. When they regenerated, it did not look right in those clothes.
Tom Baker forever.
Tom Baker was good, but Sylvester McCoy had that dark streak.
Christopher Lewis 6938 says, "Just won some Hatton's Genesis London and South Western Railway coaches at a sensible price." That's really good, actually. Yeah. Sarah Davis says, "When they talk about Toby's web shooting, that was ad-libbed." Andrew Moy Jones says, "It's nearly hammer time." Hold on. Stop. Hammer time. James Pett says, "Way too many EMUs. Does not compute." Dan Havlick, photographer, asks Flymer Shem one. Not sure.
That'd be cool. We could talk about how the best ways to photograph your models. That'd be very cool.
Absolutely.
Jonathan Newton does that.
Yeah, and Mark Wilson.
Yeah.
Mark Wilson, obviously very good photographer.
Yeah.
Leslie Gilpin Railway says, "Colin Baker would never fit in a TARDIS these days." He would. Marcus Muggins says, "Ace was Ace." She was actually, as sidekicks, I think that Sophie Aldred really...
She smacked a Dalek around with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Top notch.
Yeah, because in the script she had to hit it with a thing, but they were supposed to stop and swap out the actual Dalek for the stunt Dalek. And apparently, if you listen very carefully on the soundtrack, you can hear the guy inside the Dalek going, "Hey, oh, ah!" Because it must have been very loud in there when that thing was taking a smack at it.
I actually knew a guy who had 118 Daleks.
Wow.
He had 6 of them in a conservatory dancing.
Oh my word!
Oh my goodness!
Passed away,
DJK666 says, "Ace was like the big sister you always wanted." Yeah, Sophie Aldred, and I always see her on like kids' TV clips and stuff, like Maureen and Melvin's musicograms or something, and I always think that's Ace. And like, she was just such a badass companion to just like, you look at her and think, any minute now she's just going to go, "Just stay there a moment, kids. Mummy's got something to deal with outside." Croxo75 says, "I've seen a TARDIS on eBay in 00. It's on the list." It's going on the list.
We built one for your Garden Railway.
Yeah, Pico certainly did, possibly still do, a really nice TARDIS. It's a police box. We all know it's a TARDIS. In O gauge, I've got one on the Garden Railway. But both Scenecraft and Scaledale did the police box. We all know it's your TARDIS. But I wish they'd do another run because they're impossible to get.
It's Richard Swiderski as well.
Simon H317 says, "Sadly can't get the decoders to consist properly. All HM7000s and it's 13 coaches, so it's green thing chasing its tail." There is a way of doing it. I've never done it. I've never had much luck with consisting. Regardless, it just doesn't work for me. So you have my utmost sympathy. On DCC, I tend to cheat and just give every locomotive the same DCC address and go from there. Plymouth Station 1985 says, "Good evening, sorry I'm late. Gandalf. Gandalf. Stop eating the biscuits.
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagon. No, Roddy Hurley. They arrive precisely when they meet.
Thanks, Gandalf. Yeah. It has been spotted. James Pett says, I have successfully consisted some Revolution 128s in N-gauge with Zemos. I've never managed it. They never doesn't seem to work for me. I think it's CV19 is the consist address. It never seems to work for me.
Where is the TARDIS?
It's going around on the train. RG Mods 86 says, I built the Pico O-scale TARDIS and painted the window frames white. And James Pett suggests, top tip, use Decoder Pro to set your CVs much easier. Croxo75 says, is the more expensive ESU sound decoders worth the extra? It depends what you want to do. Like all decoders have their plus and minus points. The big selling point, HM7000, is that you can control it via Bluetooth, so you can just control your trains from your phone. CV setting is a doddle on HM7000 because it's got a really good GUI interface, graphical user interface, and you can download a variety of different profiles and change it yourself, whereas with ESU you'd need a lock programmer to do the same thing. And finally, they're cheaper as well. So those on a budget will find that a great help.
Do they have the brake assist on those HM7000?
The what, sorry?
The brake assist. You can push a button and it'll brake. On the Zemo ones, you can do that.
I think there is a brake program on it, but again, I've never used it. I'm on the beta test group and you're asking me questions and I'm like, I don't know.
On the Zemo ones, you can press it and it brakes.
Why don't you know? You should know.
Robert Nisbet 5590 says, wow, you've built a TARDIS. Wait until Elon finds out about that. I thought only Rapido had the license to sell ESU in the UK. I don't know.
It's like this year, everything changes so quick.
It does. We can't keep up. My understanding was that Rapido were the UK distributors for ESU products.
ESU were at Glasgow last week.
Oh, were they? Yeah, they sometimes do have a stand. They were at Warnerley as well.
Yeah.
They had there was a load of booth barnacles on there, so I wasn't able to get in and have a chat with them.
I was a little upset with them at Warnerley because they had this nice big place, and all of these things they were showing off, and you couldn't buy any of them.
Yeah.
I would have come home with one of their controllers. That thing was beautiful.
And to be honest, the thing is, because they're a manufacturer, a bit like Bachmann, you generally can't buy anything apart from the collectors club stuff at the Bachmann stand because you have to buy it through a retailer because they are very, very keen on supporting retailers. And the thing about ESU is kind of the thing, if they started selling stuff off their stand, it would annoy a lot of other people.
Yes, it would. But don't show me things I can't have. It makes me upset.
But, ooh, shiny.
No one was selling those fancy controllers. And
they do send you to retailers, or not. If you ask them to buy something, they send you to
they'll send you to somewhere that they know has got it. I mean, Gauge Master might have it in stock.
Gauge Master weren't there, though.
Were they not?
I don't remember seeing them.
Warnerly.
Gauge Master. I'm sure they had a stand. They usually buy the Kato stand.
No, I didn't. Oh, well, the Kato stand was swamped.
Oh, yeah.
You couldn't move around that Kato stand.
Hey, but because that was the N-Gauge Circus things where the little modules that all plug together.
I saw some of those.
It's a great idea.
I managed to get close enough to see some of them, and it was families having a good time, and I love to see that at shows.
And I know sometimes people knock Kato like, oh, they don't do DCC, and they do make DCC fit in their locos very hard.
They do DCC for the VUS outline.
But like the Kato, Pico, Small England.
No, they don't know. Yeah.
But what I will say is that the Kato diorama circus is really great because it brings kids into the hobby. It's such an amazing idea, and you only had to look at the stand at Warnerley to know how popular that was.
And not just does it get kids interested in the hobby, but it gets you over that first stumbling block of, oh, I don't know how to build a layout. I just put my track on the floor.
Help you do it, don't
yeah. You've already done it by the time you've gone home.
It's smaller, manageable as well.
Exactly.
Summer Breeze Model Row asks, who's the guest with you today, Jenny? Aha! Thus revealing that they were a late comer to the stream because we announced it at the start. This is, you may know them on the screen as Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath.
Hello, Summer Breeze.
This is Peter.
Yeah.
So he's one of the Monday Clubbers. You're wearing the merch as well. Keep calm and gronk it up. And you will have seen him at shows because you're pretty.
We've spoke online and all that.
Yeah, you like the Jem Hadar. You go to a show and then you just materialise. Hello. So
not every show, but yeah.
No, but a lot. I mean, because this year I've seen you at Doncaster.
Yes.
And Doncaster is one of my favourite shows, if not my absolute favourite show, because the range. We were talking about this earlier on.
Yeah.
The range of. Andy Fry's Junction says we know him as Peter the Troublemaker.
J. Paul Anderson, hello. Yeah.
Valley's 56XX says haven't seen Peter since Crew last year. Well, that means you haven't been to any of these letters because
in South Wales, isn't he?
I saw you at Doncaster. You were at the Keithley show. I saw you at Preston.
I've never been to the Keithley show.
Were you not?
I was at Preston.
I'm sure you were at the Keithley show.
Oh, yeah.
Andy Fry's Junction says cough cough Lee exhibition. Yes.
Yeah.
But you were at Warnerley.
Yes, Warnerley.
Were you at Getz?
No, I've been to Getz once.
Have you?
And I wasn't impressed, to be honest.
Were you not? What was it about Getz?
The venue actually put me off. The toilets and the venue actually put me off anyway. It was busy. It wasn't the really busy one when you couldn't.
I think the issue is with a lot of the shows is the toilets, if you go first thing, are really nice, but then people use them.
2,000 to 3,000 people all want to use the same one.
And there's always one.
Well,
it's like, I've got no chance of hitting that. Way! Spread it around. Oh, look!
And the gents is even worse.
It wasn't.
I'll be honest. Right. Some of the ladies' toilets. Everybody thinks ladies are like, or like, oh, look at me, oh, Papa, I'm just so wonderful. And you go into the toilets, and it's like, what the hell are they doing in there?
I've been a cleaner for 30 years. I've cleaned a lot of toilets, and the women's are worse. Definitely.
Yeah, they can very much be.
The men splatter. The women, God knows what they're doing in there. Yeah.
This has been toilet talk.
Yeah. David Scott 6468 says Peter and I were both in Glasgow and York these last few weeks. Yeah. And David Scott, of course, the great organizer of so many Monday Club meetups at shows. Thank you so much for your amazing work there. And the blue badge has gone in the post, hasn't it, Zoe? Have you got the blue badge yet?
I hope it's got it. I sent it.
Yeah.
I saw him yesterday. It's on its way.
We have
DJ K666. Actually, that's the goth and rock clubs. Absolutely. In my clubbing days, the men went in the ladies because they had better mirrors. Yes, you've got to check your eyeliner.
Oh yes.
Goth thing. Very much goth. Yeah. Jilly's Rock World in Manchester and Rock Shots in Newcastle. Very much like that.
So we've got time for one more thing tonight from Zantac, who says, "Hope you're all well. I did some work on the industrial area, adding a road deck to go down to the lower level and help tie it all in."
Oh,
he says pictures here.
Yeah, he says it hasn't arrived yet, but of course there has been a bank holiday, right? Yeah. So, I said, these were done for us by huge thanks to Westhill Wagon Works. There's three. There's three up there. Westhill Wagon Works did us proud. It was one year actually at Getz, but we had a few left over.
So we gave them.
So we started popping them in when people from places like Australia and America ordered Monday Club badges. We'd pop one in because
Alan Reynolds,
hello, Alan Reynolds, Buckland Junction says good evening, Jenny, Zoe, and Peter, and hi to all in the chat.
Can we just say one thing? we don't put these into badge orders anymore because
we ran out a long time ago. We did that with the last few, but PVA J Cloth Allen is late.
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. So I see the TARDIS. TARDIS. But no, the Weir Yard sign is great.
It really is.
There's a few on the left. There's one over there. That was actually the very last one that was left, and it was damaged. Some of the letters.
Yes. It now says Wee Yard.
But there is a proper one behind you over there. So where I'm pointing there.
I like. Oh yes.
So I do have 2 on the layout, and can I just say as well, I have a full set sealed in packaging.
Yeah. Zantek, is this a West Hill Wagon Works thing? Because I have something similar that I need to paint up.
It is,
and I recognise these.
Yeah.
I bought some stuff like that the other day.
Where did you get them from?
You know, Preston, the guy that was just at the doorway.
Oh yes. Kevin. No, well, there was full plate models on one side.
Full plate was there where we kept having a look at stuff. The guy that was on the other side.
I know the one you mean.
Northwest. Yes.
Kevin Collins.
There you
are. No, Sarah Davis says my JK sign is damaged from where I tried to detach it.
Oh.
Really? Unfortunately, don't have any spares.
We would if we could.
If you got in contact with West Hill Wagon Works, they might be able to print you one. However, they will
special delivery.
Yeah, they will charge you for it. Just to
that looks
let
really
you know.
cool. You've done a damn good job with this.
Yeah,
the Zantex, is it?
Yeah,
Zantex. Yeah,
and a little engaged Gronkymon.
Gronkymon. Gotta shunt them all.
Gronk it up.
Gronk it up. Hashtag not a cult. Yeah. Yes, says Zantex. It is a West Hill Wagon Works forklift.
Your managed may vary. Consult your physician.
Yes. Yes, especially if the Gronk is up somewhere it shouldn't be.
Yes, if the Gronk is up for more than 4 hours, consult your doctor.
Oh! Yes.
Oh, you've done some
hashtag
good
not real medical advice.
Yeah.
That looks really good.
Yeah, weathering actually on the containers works really well because they've got lots of nooks and crannies. The weathering
building there.
Nice.
You've done really good work, man. I'm really impressed. And thank you so much for sending that in as well.
Yeah, is that a 1-2? I can't tell the difference.
1-2-2.
Is it a 1-2-2 or a 1-2-1? So if they've got a box on the roof, they're a 1-2-2. So I'm looking up there because I've got a 1-2-1 and a 1-2-2 up there, but I don't know which is which. I just know that one's with and one's without. Wardle Restorations, big hello to you.
Yeah, we were talking about you earlier.
Yeah,
good things. Don't worry.
1-to-1 scale.
There's a degree of lateness. Been following your tanker wagon restoration. Really, really great.
The Monday clubber is never late to the wagons. Nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. And James Petts says 1-2-1 has the box, 1-2-2 has no box. Right, so 1-2-1 I've got in Silverlink livery, and 1-2-2 I've got in BR Departmental.
So that one there.
Yes, Wardle Restorations, yes. And imagine how big a money pit now a steam locomotive would be. Or even buying your own 66. Do you think your work could give you a discount?
Well, maybe
they'd have to be finished with it. The thing is, they'd be a bit ragged by the time they'd let you buy one.
Why?
Well, because they'd only sell it to you when they're finished with it.
DB have sold.
Oh my God! With 9 o'clock, didn't I say it would go quick? Didn't I say?
Time flies when you're having fun.
So there we are. I can't believe.
Tune.
We will be. The only thing is, if you sat in the loft, you can't hear it. But DB66s we had on hire were ragged, says Wardle Restoration. I can imagine. There's some drivers, isn't there, who are, let's just say, when I've worked in transport, the term was rather hard on the equipment.
Sold a load to Romania. 20 of them.
Oh, yeah, really? I can imagine. But look, unfortunately, our time is coming to an end. A huge thank you to Peter Jackson, Cheadle Heath, as you will know him in the chat.
It's an honour and a privilege to be in where I am.
Well, thank you so much for coming. It's been an honour and privilege to have you here. And of course, now you can wear your exclusive Blue Monday Club badge, only available to guests on the show. You can wear that with pride. It gets you the same discounts. Do check out the list on the website for all of the participating retailers and more, where you can make use of your Monday Club badge and support the community that makes this hobby possible. But for now, just got time for me to say thank you so much for joining us. Have we got Gamehammer Classic Gaming coming?
We have. We're having a special tonight.
Ooh. Special?
Yes. Games on the Amiga 500.
Oh, so you're going to be playing, was it Zoo?
Whatever I've got.
Railroad Tycoon, the original.
Whatever I've got.
You should do a playthrough with Civilization as well. Civilization was good.
Civilization was good.
Yeah, I had an A500. Loved that computer. But anyway, you will get a prompt to go over to Gamehammer Classic Gaming when we're all done. But from all of us here, for now, you take great care. Happy modelling. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Are you going to roll the VT?
No, I'm going to make you wave forever.
No!
Jenny loves you, diesel shunder. In the yard, you're no front runner. Unappreciated, slow and steady. Metal beast, you're always ready. Back and forth with wagons trailing. In the yard, you're never failing. Rusty wheels and engine humming, steady groans always coming. Gronk it up, you're the one who fills the cup. Pull those wagons back and forth, gronk it up for what you're worth. Gronk the 08 unsung hero. Diesel hard, but love is zero. Jenny sees your true intention. Endless work without a mention. Slow and steady, never flashy. In the yard where tracks are trashy. Jenny knows your secret song. To her, you're where you belong. Gronk it up, you're the one who fills the cup. Pull those wagons back and forth, gronk it up for what you're worth. Gronk it up, you're the one who fills the cup. Pull those wagons back and forth, gronk it up for what you're worth. Gronk it up. Gronk it up. Gronk it up. Hashtag not a cult.
Yeah, very good.
So there we are. We're
The
back.
train now departing is a 2107 service to Packham on the Back, stopping at Minus Cathus, Cathus Newith, Minus Cathus Newith, Bolton Trinity Road,
That had a name now. That Jenny said had a name, and it turned out it didn't have a name. Foxton on File, Foxton Junction, Eindhoven, Pittsburgh, somewhere.
That's how you confuse your HM7000 decoder.
Grove Street Yard, all change at 3 cocks for Lord Hereford's knob, and then on to Packham on the back. That's the 2107 service.
Yeah.
To Packham on the back. If
I'm
you
just gonna-
go up to the loft today, you're sure of a big
Sound carries as well.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
To the loft
think
today,
it's
you'll
the
never
angle in
believe
it,
your
yeah,
eyes.
flipping into the middle.
For
Yeah.
every train there ever was has gathered there today.
had all- they all
because
sound
today's the
fitting,
day that Jenny
No,
goes,
not all
the
of them.
Monday Club.
If you had them all
Good
at
night.
once, it'd be...
Right, I
Really
better go
are,
and pay for that thing on eBay. And
Yeah,
then get
you
on
better
with
do
Game
that,
Hammer.
otherwise you'll be marked as a poor buyer.
Yes.
Ooh.
Can I just say to people, well, why are we on screen? I'm saying I could have been picking my nose for
You're
all-
not supposed to be. I thought I'd done it properly.
No, of course you hadn't. Oh, no! the
You're
wrong
still
one.
on screen, and you're also your sniff butts.
Right, can I just say to people that the class 25
Bye-bye.
that is running around, and I'm going to be a little bit naughty.
Ooh.
Actually, it's not naughty, because to be honest, Hornby don't have a stick up their arse. But there's a class 25 HM7000 profile that is in that. So there you go.
Right. Okay.
Or maybe it's not. You have to know whether you want to believe me or not. Right, anyway, Ben Tullett says, not being too talkative tonight with family tonight, so secretly watching the stream. Is that like Joey and Friends secretly watching the game?
Got a phone over, hidden away. Night, Ham Shackleton.
Good night, everybody, and don't forget you will get your prompt to move on over to the Game Hammer Classic Gaming. All request Monday night, although it seems to be all request on the Amiga. I had an Amiga
500.
Yeah, I had an Amiga 500 as a kid. Did you have a computer as a kid?
Yes, a VIC 20 I started with.
VIC 20.
A Commodore 64 after that.
Oh.
And I think I went up to... I can't remember.
I went for an Amiga 500 straight to a PC.
I think I went to a college then and got something IBM. I can't remember what it was, but anyway.
I bought
a long time ago.
I got a PC right at the start of my second year at university. I built it myself because I worked out if you bought all the components and assembled it yourself, it was a lot cheaper, and you could have the spec exactly as you wanted.
Night, Flymo.
Ooh, Ravenheart Modelling, Amiga 1200 hard drive here. I think the HD is hard drive. Yeah, I was always a little bit jealous of kids who got those, but as I already had an Amiga 500, it's like, oh yeah. It's like, you've already got an Amiga, you're going to love it and lick it and sniff it and make do with it. Yeah, the A500 was great.
I couldn't get into computers after that,
yeah, I'm now at the stage where I'm just like, work, damn you, work!
That's it. Well, Windows and all the problems they have.
Oh, what about the Windows downgrades? Yeah. So we've accidentally wandered into memory lane and got mugged.
Right, so I can make your way down the ladder of doom, shall I?
Yeah, do you want me to pass that down to you?
Yes, that would be
Yes,
fantastic. Get the feeling going. Oh, the legs aren't what they used to be.
Oh, I know that feeling well.
Yeah. Whoop. No.
Are you all right? Do you want to push?
Wait a minute, hang on. Yeah.
There
we go.
Oh, okay.
Now then.
Croxo 75, 3.5 inches of floppy. Unfortunately, it's just lean on the top, and then once you get down far enough, just grab on and think of England. Ooh, squeaky rails. Not squeaky, flange squeal. Yeah. soon as Zoe starts streaming, I will I'll be able to turn off up here and I'll come on down. Alright, are you online? We'll get started then. Oh, go and have a look, go and have a look. Hold on, there you are. Squeeze past. So, Gamehammer Classic Gaming is just getting prepped in the game room. And you will get a prompt to go across. Dan's Model Railway 5172, big hello to you. Fortunately, we're coming right to the end, but you can watch us on the rewind. And as always, we say, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you've not already done so. You can check us out over on Patreon. Check out the full merch store. All the details are underneath the video. Gandalf, you need all the biscuits. Although I suspect Gandalf had a lot of help from Zoe. Funny that. Are you alive? Oh, right, so Gamehammer Classic Gaming Room is now live. So you'll get your prompt, but from all of us up here in Weir Yard. You guys take great care of yourself. Happy modelling. Bye for now.